Hi, my name's Jeff Brown. Today I'm going to talk about editing data in Hode. Hode is some software that you can find at this address right here. It stands for High Order Data Editor. Everything I say in this video is described in more detail in the documentation, which you can start at the README. Okay, I've started the application. Right now, we're looking at a big black screen, which is used to display search results. And we're looking at an empty data set, so there's nothing to show yet. This little blue window is called the reassurance window. And this yellow window is for entering commands. So how do you enter some data? Right now I'm asking it to add an expression. /a means add. I'm asking it to add the expression, mammals need calcium because mammals build bones. If I execute that, it'll tell me that it worked. It's added that to address 12, at address 12. If I search now for the expression mammals, I'll find it. And I can ask for all the relationships that mammals is in by pressing Alt-H. We find two relationships. They're grouped. We've got the need relationships and the build relationships. So mammals need calcium and mammals build bones. So when we typed in this single expression right here, we created all those sub-expressions too. And then if we go to one of those and we ask to see all the relationships that it is a member of, we find that mammals need calcium is a member of the relationship mammals need calcium because mammals build bones. Notice that when I entered the relationship, I used parentheses to group the sub-expressions. But when it's displayed, it doesn't do that. Instead, it shows me the first-order relationships by putting a single hash mark next to the joints in the relationship. So need is a joint in the relationship mammals need calcium. It puts a single hash mark next to the joints in first-order relationships, and it puts a double hash mark next to the joint in a second-order relationship. Sometimes an expression only has host relationships, right? Like mammals is in some relationships, but it's not itself a relationship, so it doesn't contain any stuff. But if we look at mammals need calcium, we can talk not only about its host relationships, that is the relationships involving it, we can also ask for its members. So if I press Alt-M, I'll find a list of its members. We've got 3 members, calcium, mammals, and what's called a template for the relationship. So every relationship of the form blank need blank uses the same template. This template is located at address 4. So that's what it is that gives mammals need calcium the shape blank need blank instead of like mammals eat calcium or whatever. We've seen what things are, what relationships are, and we've seen at least one relationship between relationships. So that's a meta relationship. You can carry that stack as high as you'd like. If you want a relationship between relationships, you can do that. The reason these groups exist, right, like it need blank, is because there might be a lot of need relationships involving mammals, and there might also be a lot of build relationships involving mammals. So in order to make that potentially big mess more organized, I've created those groups. The phrase second-order relationships suggests that it should be a relationship between 2 first-order relationships, but that's not true. Your relationships can be uneven, and they can have arbitrary arity also. So here I've created a relationship where the first member is itself a relationship, and the second member is just this statement, chemistry dude, and the third member is give me cheese. So we can add that, just like the others. It doesn't update the results that are displayed automatically. You have to close that and then open it again. But if we do that, we now find that mammals need calcium is in 2 relationships. The second one being this 3-member relationship. It because blank so blank. So if I try and find the members of this relationship, I'll find that it's the blank because blank so blank. That's the template of this relationship, and then it's got these 3 members in it. Okay, so that's how you add data and crawl around the data. Now suppose we wanted to delete an expression. Deletion is also an important part of editing. So which of these deserves deletion? This last one is kind of silly, right? So the expression at 17, suppose we want to delete that. How do we do that? Well, we write /d, that stands for delete. We could also write delete 17. That's all there is to it. Okay, once again, the search results don't update automatically, but if we close that and then open it again, we find now only 1 relationship instead of 2. So now suppose we wanted to replace a relationship. Specifically, let's replace mammals build bones with mammals build cells. The way we can do that, so let's see, mammals build bones is located at address 11. So if we type this in, that says replace the thing at 11 with mammals build cells. So that's done. If I now look at the relationships that is involved in, I find mammals need calcium because mammals build cells instead of bones. Okay, so this one at 11 and this other thing at 7, those are both members. Those are the 2 members of the relationship at 12. So when you replace an expression, it replaces that expression in any super expression also. However, member expressions are not affected. So we replaced the expression mammals build bones with mammals build cells, but bones is still around. I can prove that by looking for it. Find bones. All right, there it is. It's not a member of any relationships, so there's nothing to show, so it's kind of an uninteresting thing to look at, but it's still in the graph because we didn't replace it. All we did is replace a super expression involving it. And that's about all there is to editing your data. You can add stuff, you can delete stuff, and you can replace stuff. But editing wouldn't do you much good unless you could save your data. So I'm going to do that now. Save. So the way you save is you write the command save, and then you type the folder where you want to save it at. Video data. So that folder name is relative to wherever you started the application from. So if I do this, and then I go over here to my video/data folder, I type ls, I'll find a bunch of files. And these are very human readable. Oh, sorry. If you want to learn the file format, it's pretty simple. All right, I think that's all there is to editing data in Hode. In the next video, I will describe how to navigate expressions in Hode. So far we saw trawling around, but there's also like what I think is a cool search language. My name's Jeff Brown. Thanks for watching.